Ah, hello there. This is Black ISIS. I had to say that because of that fake FBI targeting black nationalist groups. This is American ISIS. This is Big Liz. Now I'm going to be writing what I'm talking about today, and it is that fake red alert DEFCON 5 FBI uh, going after black nationalist groups as terrorist organizations. It's just, it's so laughable, man. It to me, it's just, it's ridiculous. You know why? Why would you go after, why would you, why would you go after black nationalist groups in the wake of a 65-year-old white guy who was worth a $500 million and took target and killed 59 people at a country western festival? But so, what does Black Lives Matter have to do with that, or the new Black Panther Party, or it's like a, 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 a fox got into the hen house and you going after a rooster. Uh, no, a turtle. Does the turtle have to do it? Anyway, um, this goes under my today's topic is empathy, history, and hypocrisy. And I'm going to show you how all this relates to the past. So I'm going to take on history first. Malcolm X. Malcolm X was a drug dealer. He was caught with Red Fox, yes, Fred Sanford, and breaking and entering in houses in New York. He was a criminal. But he didn't go to prison for B&E. The sentence for B&E got Red Fox 2 years and got Malcolm 10. It's because he entered the courtroom, you saw the movie, with a white girlfriend. Yeah. So he got 2 years for breaking and entering and 8 years for having a white girlfriend. But he was also a drug addict, and you know the whole story. He was a hood nigga. When he got out with the Nation of Islam, he cleaned himself up and became one of the most prolific speakers of human history. But when they tried to ridicule him on television, they had already painted this picture of a radical black. And let me get this straight. Let me tell everybody the truth here. When he went overseas and found out that there were 800,000 white Muslims, and when he found that the same amount of Muslims was the same amount of Christians in the world, of all different spectrums, Asians, whites, blacks, Indians, he basically took the power of those countries where those people dwell, as all of them being in the Islamic faith, the Muslim faith, and asked for trade embargoes and sanctions against the United States until the conditions of black people in America improved. That meant no more oil, no more sugar, no tobacco, no trading with America, period. The same thing that America did to Cuba is what he went over there and asked those people to do. If I was Malcolm at the time, I would have got my family and got the hell out of that country. I would have got the hell out of the United States, and I would have never came back. But he didn't. He came back, and they set him up and they killed him because of that. And so went his stand. The Black Panther Party. They used the American laws, rules, and regulations against the system which created those rules and regulations in the first place. Right to bear arms, a right to storm the Capitol building with 12 gauges, with one in the chamber. They were so radical and against authority that the federal government changed laws overnight to stop them. Then they assassinated the leaders of the Black Panther Party, and they blew up their headquarters. Actually blew it up, really. Some C4 and dynamite blew it up and killed everybody. And the remaining, they locked them up in prison for the rest of their life to shut them up. Martin Luther King's last speech. He said, 2 weeks before he was assassinated, after all the civil rights marches and the anti-violence protests, he still was doing that, but he said, we're going to walk to the White House and we're going to ask them where our check is. You ask black people of this country to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, but then all the white immigrants that you had allowed over here, you gave them welfare, you gave them housing, you gave them grants, and you gave them all food stamps and everything else, aid, in order to pick themselves up. But the black people, MLK said, we're going there and we're going to ask the federal government, where the hell is our check? Where is our money? And they killed him for it. The media. Malcolm X said this: the media has a way of turning the villain into the victim and the victim into the villain. And they do. And you know what's so relevant about that is Steph Curry saying, I'm not going to the White House. But he said it. Then the media changed it around and said, President Donald Trump rescinds the invitation to Steph Curry and the NBA from coming to the White House. How you gonna spin that around? You see how they spun it around? He already said he wasn't going. So how can you just turn it around and say the president rescinds the invitation? I wasn't coming anyway. See? What Malcolm X said was the truth. Public Enemy, the rap group Public Enemy. The reason why Public Enemy was so successful in their political rants and views and black power, when they told the truth and they brought out the education of black people, they saved my life. I'll tell you about that another time, but the reasons why they were so successful: white people's greed, those corporational greed, the company's greed. They had no idea what Public Enemy was talking about, because rap music at the time in the 80s was still considered a novelty act, a fad. So they didn't listen what Public Enemy was talking about. Or those heavy metal guys, like Anthrax and Black Sabbath, they really don't listen to the lyrics. All they knew was the bottom line. It was selling. So Public Enemy had a chance to give out a message and make the corporations lots of money at the same time. So it worked out both ways. We got educated, we got the information from Public Enemy, and the corporations got a lot of money. But then they found out in the 90s, they're telling the truth on us, and the truth, it will hurt us in the long run more than this quick cash will. So they decide to take it and put an end to edutainment. Public Enemy, KRS-One, Boogie Down Productions, X-Clan, all found themselves without sales. Ice-T, Ice Cube. Ice-T got dropped from the label. he withdraw. He didn't get dropped from the label. Now